Yeah, like in like the hentai world, do you find like that there is like ever certain trends or like a meta that gets popular between like different artists? Oh, I'm so curious what the world is like basically.
Oh yeah, I mean like sometimes there's can't think of a good example like recently, not too recently, a couple of years ago, there was a meta that was going around that was like a fixed camera. And so, like, for a few panels, it's like for a few pages, it's the same angle.
Oh, right? I remember
but there's like a time lapse.
Yeah. Holy shit.
It's like 11 a.m. They're in missionary.
Right.
And then it's like 2 a.m. They're in doggy.
Right.
And it's the same angle.
They took a water break. Yeah.
Oh my God, that
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like that fight scene in Old Boy where it's just like one static camera, but then you just extrapolate that with sex, and that was just that mess. Oh my God, that's so weird. Like I never knew that there was like.
You notice it now. It's
yeah, I know. Now that you said it, I noticed it. I remember.
It's like those like montages in like 80s films where it's like time lapsing. Except it's sex. Oh my God. Yeah, now that you say that, I've read so many doujins that use that.
Yeah.
Recently. Oh my God, I never thought about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, because like I don't know, like how often do you try to like break out of the trend or like do something original, or do you sometimes read some works and you're like, damn, that's awesome. I got to incorporate it in my own work as well.
Well, I don't know if I'm weird or not, but like it has to interest me, or else I'm not gonna have fun drawing it. And if I'm not gonna have fun drawing it, then I don't do it.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, you got to put your passion in.
You know, some people, are really professional and they just like I draw what I'm asked, know. But
or like you draw what's hot, currently, right? Yeah.
But I can't really bring myself to do any of that. So like, if it doesn't really like spark interest in me, spark joy.
Yeah.
Then I can't do it.
Yeah,
Spark joy. It's like if I'm not drawing it, I don't have a big smile on my face. Then it ain't it.
So like,
I respect that.
If I wanted to do like a straight up like boy meets girl kind of story, then I have to put my own twist on it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not interesting to me.
Yeah.
What would the Shindo L twist be in an instance like that?
I remember doing one like basically straightforward story, which is just like one guy and one girl just like, having sex.
Yeah.
And like, I think I made the girl like a quadruple amputee.
For what purpose?
I mean, like, why not? Right?
All right, fair enough. I don't judge.
So
That's the most vanilla we're gonna get out of you. Right?
So like to explain, like she had no arms, no legs.
She had no arms, no legs.
Okay,
But
that's like. I feel like that's like as something. Did you read a lot of Wasanagi during that time?
I mean, I read Wasanagi, but it was a really wholesome story, though.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just looking at Connor, and Connor's just like,
I shouldn't discriminate against for amputees.
Yeah.
That's the end of that sentence. Like,
That's it. I shouldn't, and I won't. They deserve sex too.
yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Just imagining how you draw the panels. Was it like, we only have an X amount of budget left? Get rid of the limbs.
We don't have enough time to draw the limbs. It's coming out tomorrow.
I think I'm afraid to ask, but how'd you go about researching how to draw the sex scenes for that?
Well, I knew like a paraplegic, so I talked to that person for a bit and like asked them like, how do you
Is it awkward having to ask them those questions?
Okay, I didn't ask like how do you have sex?
Oh,
Yeah.
But like,
How do you fuck?
how do you like go about doing your daily life? Like, what do you find hard to do? What do you find like? How do you cope with like not being able to do this or that?
Yeah, so that's really interesting here. So you actually had to like interview your friend just to give yourself a frame of reference to draw that.
Right.
If you didn't know someone and you wanted to kind of ask them, how would you? Do you have any way of doing that? Like, if you wanted to meet someone who is in a certain condition,
I don't know. You'd have to like go on Reddit or something.
Yeah, true. Hey,
any paraplegics here? Want to tell me how you fuck?
How often do you have to do this kind of research where you have to like talk to someone to see what their experience is?
I mean, it's really just it's just for me basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I figure you could do it without doing the research or without asking.
Oh, I'm sure I've seen
interviewing
artists that
someone.
definitely do not do the research.
Yeah.
Whatever they're drawing.
But like, you know, if for me it like adds a little bit of like, I could add one thing
Yeah.
that speaks true to someone who's experienced it maybe.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, I know how that feels.
Yeah.
And if you had that one thing, then like it makes the story a lot more interesting.
Yeah, because I remember when we did the interview and I asked you about Metamorphosis and like how I think you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like the big reason why you kind of came up with like Saki's characters because like you heard of and like knew people who had like similar experiences, right? And like
I
kind
knew
of
a
lived
girl in
through
high
it.
school who like, you know, got into drugs.
Right.
But like it's not based it's not like based on her or anything.
Right. But I'm sure it was like a lot of it was like kind of inspired or like, you know, kind of taken from that experience, right?
But like, you know someone who's been through a lot of shit and like, and Saki's been through like all the shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, oh, she had like a comedically bad life.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, if you take one aspect of it, it could speak true to someone. Like, you know, yes, that part is, I recognize that part as being real.
Right.
So that makes the story more engaging.
Have you ever had like anyone come up to you at like events or whatever and being like, you know, I really like related to like Saki's character or related to like this particular character that spoke true to them?
I get that a lot from Saki.
Oh yeah.
especially.
Damn.
I feel bad now.
Yeah. Right.
No, I am curious
heavy.
because you said that you had to censor yourself for Metamorphosis because you were drawing it in a magazine.
Right.
I'm curious now. Will you ever release like a director's cut? I guess
The Snyder cut.
The Snyder, because
It's
like
like 500 pages. Right?
because like I guess even if you couldn't release it in a magazine, your audience worldwide now is vast enough to be able to, you know, sell that to, because I'd willingly pay money to see a fucking director's cut of whatever you had planned originally now.
I know a lot of people have been saying like, oh, Shindo should make like the happy end for like Metamorphosis where she doesn't die.
end,
Yeah. The JoJo end.
I think because me, when I was reading it, I was like, I think the one thing that I was like, oh my God, is that it's so fast.
Right.
Reading it. All in one sitting. Like everything is like boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Your life's ruined. Your life's ruined again. And now your life is over. And it's like, all right, okay.
There's no downtime, basically.
Yeah. There's literally no break at all. And it's just like, you're depressed, more depressed, and you're miserable, and you're never recovering. And it's like, oh, okay. All right. I guess I'm sad now.
Maybe that's something you can do on your Patreon, right?
Maybe. I mean, like, the thing about working like in a magazine or just even doing a doujin is like you only have a certain amount of pages and you have to have some action in there.
Right.
So like, you know, you can't like spend like 100 pages like, you know, showing someone's life.
Right.
God forbid. Oh my God. Imagine not fucking in that time. I'll go bored.